So in the previous video, we managed to get to this stage where we have step one, we have a str value one, we're getting input from the user, we're getting input from the, two inputs from the user, and then we are converting the string into an integer, both strings into integers, and then we are adding both together. And now we need to actually print it onto the screen. So to do that, remember that we already have this txt result, which can show us our result. So I'll do txt results dot set text, which is a method that comes along with the txt result. And then we can actually set the text to it. But you have to remember that set text only takes in a string. So it means that at the moment we have an integer, a variable integer, which means that if we want to display that as a string, we have to now convert that also into a string. So, I mean, two ways I've seen it being done, or two ways you can do it. Well, string dot value of will convert the value of that integer into a string, and then we can just pass in results. And then that would be it. We'll test it out. Once it's finished, we'll run our emulator. Again, to run our emulator, we have our app here. If you've never done emulator before, if you click on here and you go on device manager, you can set up an emulator. You can choose any mobile phone. I'm just going to click on play to load up my emulator. So basically what we've done is just basically gone through getting an import and buttons from a user to be able to add the values together. Now, there are a couple of things that we should have done, or you can do. Is number one, you want to check that the user have actually entered something inside those two input boxes or edit texts, because what you don't want is to do calculation with a calculation with nothing inside. You get an error. So that's error handling. That's some of the error handling things that you have to do yourself. In my case, just for the purpose of this teaching, I'm not really checking if it's empty. If it's not empty, that will be down up to you. It's good that you do it, but like I said, for the purpose of just showing you how to just take two inputs and just calculate it, that's what I'm doing it this way. So let's test it out in our emulator. So I'm just going to enter 7 and then value, I'm going to enter 8, and then I'm going to click on plus. Remember, the only button that we've actually done is this one. So we click on plus, then it shows our answer in there. If we change it to a 10, it should update it to 17. So that is our simple calculator. If you repeat the same steps for the rest of the buttons, you'll be fine. The only thing that you need to change, of course, would be instead of a plus, it will be a minus. Instead of a minus, it will be a multiplication sign. Instead of that, it will be a division sign. So this is how you create a simple calculator application. There are a number of things that you have to take into consideration. For example, we've only done this for an integer. What if I wanted a double? You just change that int into a double. You create methods that would be able to see if it's an integer or a double that's being used. So yeah, hope this tutorial helps you to be able to understand a simple way of how to calculate two numbers together. And I will see you in the next video.